Hey, everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. We're going to talk about the Federal Reserve and the statement they just made to Congress yesterday. I think it's very important. This video should be coming out to you sometime the day after, either in the morning or the afternoon. I just haven't figured out yet. But we're really going to talk about it's not really it is newsworthy because what's going on right now is a lot of jaw jacking and a lot of it's trickery, quite frankly. It's they want you to believe one thing while they want you to watch what's going on. Hey, look, I moved my hand over here while this hand over here is taking something and moving it somewhere else. All right. It's very important because this exact same scenario played out in 2005 to 2007 when Ben Bernanke and other Fed governors were coming out and saying everything's good. Don't worry. We're on top of this. Everything's okay. And we now know that everything was not okay. Well, the thing is this time it's worse. That is just the facts. And for people that don't like facts and they say this is doom and gloom, videos of cats. That's what I'm just saying. Breathe into a paper bag, videos of cats. That's all I can say. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in right now. We're going to share the screen. We're going to talk about this. It's off of CNBC. Powell tells Congress the Fed is strongly committed on inflation. Notes recession is a possibility. Now, just what you know, now that they have officially came out and said recession is a possibility, we're in recession. I want you to understand we're in recession. Don't listen to these guys that are on Wall Street telling you they're called talking heads. They're like bobbleheads. Just boom, boom, boom. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. We don't know if there's a recession yet. We're in a recession. All right. The cool thing is you're listening to somebody that knows what it's like because I've seen the last 3 recessions. I knew them. They were happening in real time. It's like a feeling, a sense you get after being an investor for so long. You know what this feels like. You see the pulse. As a matter of fact, a funny little story. I was in a movie theater today watching Jurassic Park, right, with my family. And I literally went to the restroom and I came out and I heard 2 employees, a manager talking to another upper level employee. And he was saying, is there anything else corporate can steal from us at this point? And they were like griping that the corporate company, the larger company of this movie theater chain was obviously taking every little thing from them. And it's obviously for cost cutting. I was in the movie theater. There was literally 7 people in the movie theater. All right. It's during the summer matinee. You think that people are out there, but I've actually been in the movies a lot lately. And there is literally probably 10%, if that, of the seats filled. Okay. So right now you have Powell telling Congress they're strongly committed. No, they're not. Why? Because we already saw them in December say, hey, we're going to get on inflation in 3 months. Well, no, if you want to get on inflation, start raising rates now. But they know how fragile the economy is. And with the 75 basis point hike, sure, that was super strong. Solid work, guys. Matter of fact, I didn't even think you had the nuts to do it. Quite frankly, sorry for the terminology, but honestly, I was surprised you could do it. And they know that they can't do it much longer because everything's in a stall. And all the data points are about to prove that in the next 30 days. All right. So here we go. And just so you know, the data points that are coming out within the next 30 days, those aren't based off of today's Fed funds rate of between 1.25% and 1.5%. All right. So it's going to be bad. So right here, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said Wednesday that the central bank is strongly committed to bringing down inflation and can do so with its monetary policy tools. You are absolutely correct, Fed Chairman Powell, but the problem is you aren't going to have the guts to do what Volcker did in the early 80s, because you would have to literally raise the Fed funds rate to darn near 20% right now to get ahead of inflation. So you are going to look super strong. I get it. Until the market cracks. And we're already seeing the cracks right now in the ECB. As a matter of fact, guys, I'm going to link this video I did yesterday that didn't get a lot of views, but I think is very important, where I'm talking about the ECB, the European Central Bank, and what is going on with their emergency meetings. They can't even raise rates now. It's so bad. They're talking about bailouts. And Italy is on the verge of cracking right now. Their 10-year bond has exploded. You think our 10-year bond's bad enough? Italy's should be right now at almost 6%, but I think it's sitting around, it just peaked 4%. That's a lot right now for Italian sovereign debt. Sorry, I digress, but I highly suggest you go take a look at that video because I think it's very important. I also tell a very brief history lesson of what happened to Germany in 2005 that most people do not realize. So another key point, that means interest rates, that means higher interest rates until compelling evidence emerges that inflation is coming down. So the facts are, guys, we all know that the government cannot pay higher interest rates. They have borrowed so much money, it's insane. We already know the housing market is cooling, and it is going to be cooling rapidly. We have already 4 months of sustained tightening in the real estate market, and it is going to continue to ramp up until it literally straight up crashes. Now, right here, a quote, at the Fed, we understand the hardship high inflation is causing. It's hard not to get ticked off at this because they don't personally know. We are strongly committed to bringing inflation back down, and we are moving expeditiously to do so, the Fed chief said in remarks for the Senate Banking Committee. We have both the tools we need and the resolve it will take to restore price stability on the behalf of American families and business. Gosh, guys, there's going to be a lot of pain coming. I'm telling you right now, they know this guy right here he's trying to keep a straight face. He knows what's coming. The market's going to collapse because the market cannot keep this propped up. And now we're at the breaking point. We are at that point. Now, the facts are it's going to take another 6 to 8 months to really see the full collapse of the markets. You think this 20% dip in the stock markets is big? You haven't seen anything yet. So this is going to be quite impressive. Now, it says, Elizabeth Warren, well, there's a brilliant mind for you. Warned Powell that the continued rate of hikes could tip this economy into recession without stopping inflation. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. She's totally right. Actually, that solid work, Liz. You're right. The hikes are going to tip the country into recession. The good news is, though, is once they start to do it and it's obvious that we're in official recession, the Fed's going to start lowering rates. So there's going to be some positives there. And again, when we're talking real estate, we got to be really careful about what they're going to do with that 40-year mortgage. I've done videos about it before. That is going to be a big deal if they do it. We're going to be forced into buying more real estate. It says, the quote that it's great, and this is from Elizabeth Warren. You know what's worse than high inflation and low unemployment is high inflation and a recession with millions of people out of work. And I hope you'll reconsider that before you drive the economy off a cliff, she said. Now, here's the problem. Let's stop sharing this video real quick. What Ms. Warren does not understand is that if the Fed continues on this trajectory, and I believe it's going to be interesting because when they stop raising rates and start to lower it, there's also going to be bail-ins. And I believe you're going to see transitory hyperinflation pop in, especially if that money hits the street. Now, since QE started, QE1, QE2, QE3, Operation Twist, and so on, right? From 2009 till, oh gosh, I don't even think that really ended until 2016, if I have my memory serves me right. The most important thing you have to understand is that did not cause hyperinflation like everybody was expecting. Why? Because there wasn't velocity of money. See, you could print money, buy assets, and put them on the books and let them sit in a warehouse, like, where all of Indiana Jones's stuff went, and that big old warehouse with the, we can't even say that word anymore because they're trying to get rid of history. The facts of the matter are when velocity is calm, when money is not moving, inflation stays relatively tame. Well, we saw a taste of what happens with the velocity of money and how it translates into inflation when all of a sudden you give everybody checks for, $5,000, $10,000, let's say, or I know everyone didn't get a check. I'm going to hear that in the comment section. But you see then the velocity of money pick up and we have transitory hyperinflation, like what we saw in steel and lumber, where a lot of people went, hey, I've got 2 weeks off, maybe a month off of work. I'm going to build that fence. And everybody ran down with those checks, bought fences materials, and it exploded. Lumber exploded, all kinds of things exploded, right? Louis Vuitton bags exploded because why not? We all need one of those. Give me a Louis. Are you kidding? Slap me if you ever see me with a Louis Vuitton. I'm not bagging on everybody has Louis Vuitton. It's just not my thing, right? It's just not a ninja thing. It's really awkward to swing that thing. Nunchucks are so much better than a Louis Vuitton. Point being is this, when velocity of money picks up, then you start to see inflation rear its ugly head. And that's what we're seeing right now. Velocity of money is picking up, ironically, even without the stimulus checks. Why? Because people are starting to wake up to the narrative of inflation. They're taking money out of their savings account and they're paying for extra food, or they're paying for electricity and things like that. And the money starts to move and circulate. When that happens, that is the Fed's worst nightmare. But the problem is, they've now created this nightmare and they've got to deal with it. And I don't think they're going to be able to wake up from it anytime soon. Guys, things are going to get tough, honestly, but remember, as things get tough and you are prepared and you have money off the side, you have your inflation hedges like gold and silver, you've got savings in cash, right? Because of pullbacks, when the market gets hit, there's a lot of deals out there. I want people to understand that. In 2012, we were able to pick up stocks, dividend paying stocks, paying between 12 and 14% a year. Why? Not because they made their dividend any larger. It's because the stock price had collapsed so much. Sorry, it was 2009, 2010. Stock price had collapsed so much, these companies, a lot of these blue chips are still making profits. They were still paying the same dividend. So as the price collapsed in value, the dividend stayed the same. So the percentage, the rate of return for your dividend payouts were massive. Those are the kind of deals I want you guys to be looking for. That's what I'm going to be looking for between real estate, blue chip dividend paying stocks, companies that have stood the test of time. This is not going to be zombies in the street. I hope people understand that. A lot of people thought the Great Depression was the end of the world as well, and it was not. All right. There is a sunny side, and I want you guys to be ready for that. All right, guys, I hope you got something out of this. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers. Welcome to this channel. Thank you for all the subscribers that have stuck with me now for what, a year and a half. This has been an awesome wild ride. I really do appreciate you. That being said, guys, the Economic Ninja is out. Double snap.